Welcome, Leo, to your in-depth monthly forecast for March 2024 for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you some standout details to look out for, but please stay with me. I will explore in greater depth with particular reference to your sign. The 10th of this month sees a supermoon that features the Sun in an alliance with the moon in the sign of Pisces. So that looks very exciting because it forges a link to Uranus, the planet of surprises. But also on the 20th we have the spring equinox, followed on the 25th by a lunar eclipse. So lots to share with you. But Venus and Jupiter come together in an amazing way this month, and that could hold with it the prospect of some serendipity and fortune. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand what's going on in your personal astrology based on your unique birth data, if you share with me your time, date and place, or date and place, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This will give you searing insights into the patterns that are played out in your life so far, and a much more intimate understanding of how to work with them and seize opportunities going forwards. In my special package of 30% off, you can also get your 12-month transit forecast. This is an analysis of the moving planets in the sky and how they're interacting with your unique blueprint. So really exciting. Please see the link below. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. And also please feel very welcome to comment and interact with me. So Leo, as you make your way into March, there's a lot of energy in your 8th house, which can be to do with big changes, transformations. But one of them early on is actually potentially a bit testing. That sees the Sun very close to Saturn. It was in an exact conjunction on the 28th of February. So actually, as the days go on, the Sun's moving away from the more restrictive energies of Saturn. But ironically, the Sun forges an amazing link to Jupiter on the very first day. So there may be a little bit of a mixed bag. Perhaps there is going to be a cost that you hadn't planned, which could be a little bit disappointing, but another opportunity comes up that really excites you. And that goes through to the 4th with the Sun in that link to Jupiter. This is definitely one of the most uplifting of all aspects in astrology. Also, the North Node comes into conjunction with Chiron on the 5th exactly. We're actually pretty close together all this month. Being open-minded about information and knowledge can be very, very good. You can look at something in a different way. Someone could advise or tell you something that shapes your outlook very productively. Because you're a fixed sign, sometimes you can be a little bit adhered to what you know and what you're familiar with. So I feel you're being encouraged to be open-minded, and that's emphasised when Mercury moves on the 10th into your 9th house, but that also coincides with the super new moon. In the 8th house, that can be to do with shared resources, can be to do with where we're most invested, but the link to Uranus suggests the more open-minded you are, the better it can be. So maybe the overall theme at the early part of this month is that something that has served you well could start to fade out a little bit around finances, but something new and exciting is coming in to replace it. That can be emphasised more when on the 11th Venus moves into Pisces. It loves being in Pisces, and this too can be good for your finances, but it could be somebody close to you who has a stroke of fortune, and that in some way is good for you too. Venus moving into the 8th house can also see a relationship go from a developing alliance to something much deeper and more meaningful. Ironically, and paradoxically, by week 3, as Venus links with Saturn, if you're not getting on so well with someone, whether it is romantically or financially, that will become clear on the 21st. But that's where we get the paradox again, because from the 22nd to the 27th, Venus and Jupiter forge that absolutely unparalleled positive energy. And I feel that it could be that you're going to get some kind of offer, or there's a promotion, or past effort that you've put in, perhaps around a property matter, can come back to you in a way that's unexpectedly positive. Very, very good. The 20th, the spring equinox, the sun returns to your sister fire sign of Aries, but also links magnificently to Pluto in your sector of related. If you connect to someone through a meeting of minds, you have similar worldviews, doesn't have to be romantic, could be a friendship, someone you do an activity with. It could be a really energized connection that comes from the spring equinox this year, but also it can give you that desire to shake things up. And if you're someone who loves traveling, then that may be something you're going to consider. However, the move of Mars into the 8th house on the 22nd is really interesting. Mars in the 8th house is very much to do with the more scorpionic energy of Mars. It's about desire. Are you really getting the type of love life you really want? That's the question Mars is going to be asking in the following 6 weeks. But the lunar eclipse, it's very much about communication, but that too links to Pluto. So I feel there's going to be a lot of chat towards the end of this month. Maybe even you're going to go on that journey, get talking to someone who you find very, very engaging. Pluto is very strong in your chart towards the end of this month, and really I feel it's Saturn and Neptune in the earlier parts of March. So Saturn obviously can be a bit restrictive and Neptune a little bit confusing. But as this month goes on, I feel that if something hasn't worked out for you, you're in the mood to try something new, fresh and stimulating. Or if things are going well for you, you're still going to want to evolve the situation a little bit. So some growth can come from new experiences, new knowledge and new information, or being encouraged by someone who's really asking you to make the most of your talents, because there's little doubt that Pluto over the last 16 years has put a lot of focus on you sacrificing and you doing things to support others. As this month develops, I think it's about a brave new world where you can take the initiative, but it may mean that some things that you have been deeply invested in are going to make way. But as I said, there can be new exciting replacements.